I grew up playing wiffle ball and just grew up like regular kids, playing basketball, playing sports. As a little kid, I always thought something was wrong with me because Dad never told me he loved me. He was never around for me, that put a case of rebellion in me, a case of unacceptance, like I wasn't good enough. I always wanted to be accepted growing up, I always wanted to fit in, I always wanted to fit in with the crowd. I started using marijuana at 13, and I started drinking at 14, and by the age of 16, I was sniffing cocaine, and then after sniffing cocaine, by the age of 18, I was smoking crack cocaine. Next thing I know, a guy introduced me to heroin, and I started sniffing heroin. And, I fell in love with heroin because it really made me escape who I was. I didn't have to deal with my feelings, it made me put on a face, made me put on a fraud, like I was this great guy, like I was this superhero or something. I became addicted to heroin, and I started robbing, I started stealing, I started lying, I started cheating, started hurting my mother, I started hurting my father, I started hurting my family, I started getting locked up in prison, and I couldn't escape. I couldn't stop using. No matter what, I tried time and time and time again. I would go through rehab after rehab after rehab and could never stop. It just continued on. 15 years, I smoked crack and shot heroin because I couldn't stop. I was an addict. I was addicted. And, no matter what, I felt like I was going to be a heroin addict and a crack cocaine addict the rest of my life. I thought that's going to be my career. That's what I'm going to be. I'm never going to be nothing. I'm going to be homeless, I'm going to be jobless, I'm going to be a junkie the rest of my life. But then Jesus Christ came in and he changed all that. The Frederick Rescue Mission allowed me to come in their doors November 11th, 2003. And Tommy Skaggs said to me, "You want another chance at life?" And I said, yes. He said, "Well, now you got it." The Lord changed my life through that mission. When I made it through there, I had brothers that pulled up beside me and helped me to become a productive member of society, to help me get a job, to help me show how to pay car insurance, to pay this and pay that, to show me how to be a steward of my money, which really changed my life and let me know that I had a purpose in life, that God created me with a purpose, to fulfill a purpose in life. My typical day here, we'd wake up, we'd have morning devotions, where we would have a resident teach the Word of God to us, where we'd have prayer. Fridays, we'd come up here and we'd have chapel right here. Right here is where our chapel, where our church service would be. And men would come to the cross, men would come to know Jesus Christ. My life was changed because of this chapel. And the rescue mission taught me how to walk in character, with new character with Christ, to change our character. Because you bring a drug addict out of the neighborhood, but now he still has that drug addict character. And what Christ needs to do is remove that character and deposit his character in. And that's what happened here at the Frederick Rescue Mission. It was the foundation that built my life and walk with Jesus Christ.
When I had come to Frederick, David was already involved in the Frederick Rescue Mission, and I've known David from Baltimore, and it was both pretty bad in Baltimore. So when I seen him here in Frederick, he was different. There was something about him that wasn't the same man that I'd known in Baltimore. So I seen him and I said, wow, what does he have? I want what he has. He's different. He has something I want.
It's been 4.5 years now since I left the Frederick Rescue Mission. And as you can see, God has truly blessed us. He's blessed us with 2 sons. We have a 15-year-old daughter, and God has just truly changed our life. I work as electrical foreman. The Lord's blessed me with that. I've had 3 years of college. I'm about to go get my journeyman's card for Montgomery County and D.C., all a result of the Frederick Rescue Mission blessing my life. It is truly a miracle where God has brought me from starting at the Frederick Rescue Mission to where I am today. He's truly turned me into a man of God and a productive member of society. I always dreamed of being, that hero that would be, a productive member of society, would be a man that would, stand up and live as a man, but God has truly changed me and turned me into that man and that hero that I've always wanted to be.